happen, I can usually identify pretty quick what's going to be Godsmack and what's going to be solo.
I really liked your sound on Hometown Life. How have you evolved it from this release, and when can we hear new material?
New material beyond Hometown Life?
Yes.
Oh my goodness, I just got this one out. You guys are like already pushing me for more music. You know, listen, the bottom line is with the solo stuff, it's just something that happens when it happens. It's not something that I pre-plan. It's certainly not something that I write for radio or even the fans sometimes, or for critics. It's just another kind of music that I really enjoy playing. And you know, when I'm writing, I'm just writing music. And so I can immediately identify if this is going to be a Godsmack song or this is going to be saved for solo. And then once I have enough of them collected, and I have a break and I'm not touring with Godsmack, I usually go ahead and record it. So right now, you know, again, I'm constantly writing, but I don't know when I'll have some new material available for the public yet. I'm about to enter the studio with Godsmack to do a world tour with them, so I'm assuming throughout that album cycle with Godsmack, I'll be writing here and there and at home and on the road, and then eventually when we take a break from Godsmack, I'll start thinking about when I can record a new one.
How do you decide what songs go on your solo record and what songs go on a Godsmack record?
As I'm writing something, once the music and the melodies start to happen, I can usually identify pretty quick what's going to be Godsmack and what's going to be solo. And even though Godsmack does have some stuff that could lean towards this kind of music, like the Voodoos and the Serenities, which is kind of what inspired a lot of this direction. That, and along with my upbringing, you know, I was raised on blues and jazz and stuff like that. So as I get older, I'm kind of regressing back to things that I listened to when I was a child. And my dad's a trumpet player, and so there's a lot of music history in my family bloodline. But it's usually you know, me just playing music, and then what I do is I identify if it's a good song or a bad song. That's how I judge it. Not what genre it is and not who's gonna like it or whatever. This is very personal, intimate music for me.
I think you can hear the blues elements more towards the end of the album.
Yeah, for sure. Well, there's definitely a song. This record especially has multi-genres on it. You know, there's really some stuff that's more like a rock ballad. There's some stuff that feels more adult contemporary. There's some stuff that has a country flair to it, like different kind of tears. There's certainly a blues jazz number like Turn It Up, which I actually had the opportunity to have my dad play on the record with me, which was fun. So again, and I chose to do this, and I knew as these songs were developing, these aren't all in the same genre, but I said, you know what, I'm not going to categorize music anymore, because my iTunes playlist is so eclectic, it's so many ranges. It has everything from Pantera and Slayer to Elton John and the Doobie Brothers to James Bay to Amy Winehouse to Adele to Etta James and John Cleary, and so for me, again, it's when I'm writing, it's either a good song or a bad song. If it's a good song, it's going to make the record. If it's a bad song, it goes in the trash can.
Will
Are you in a different state of mind at the moment? Because we can hear some of your spiritual influences on the album.
Well, especially the first record, Avalon was a very, very magical album. It happened very organically. Nothing was, pre-planned. There was a lot of different kind of musicians and artists on the record that actually contributed to the inspiration of the music. And so it became very organic and very, world music-ish, more than this one. But I also wanted to take this record to a different place because I didn't want to write, at least with my solo stuff, it's real important that I continue to experiment and just be a musician. I play multiple different instruments, and I like to utilize that as much as I can. So I wanted to make sure that this record didn't sound like Avalon. And I don't know if that's good or bad for people, because I know people really enjoyed the Avalon record as well. But again, it was more about me and exercising these situations and events that have affected me somehow on an emotional level.